What happens after you die? It's been a question asked for centuries, if not more than that. So I'm going to walk you through the 7 steps of what happens after you die. So step 1, you just took your last breath. A moment in time, you detach from your body, your soul lifts out of your body. The energy cord that was attached from your soul to your body is cut. And then you are free to go. So you can choose to cross over right away. Most souls hang out for a few weeks. They want to see who's going to show up for the funeral, who's going to show up for the life celebrations. I mean, who wouldn't really, truthfully? Now, for a soul to be able to cross over, a light has to appear. A light appears for every single soul. Then that light is sort of like, imagine a tunnel, a gate to the other side. Often within that light, there might be loved ones, people that you have known, or your spirit guides. Somebody that might soothe you and make it feel okay for you to just leave the life that you just had and go over to the other side. Now, not everybody has somebody in their lights. It depends on how many times you've done this, how many times you've reincarnated, how advanced your soul is, how comfortable you are with crossing over. Once you have crossed over, your spirit guides welcome you. And at that point, you get your first life review. Let's go sit and talk about the rest. Your first life review is simply a moment when your spirit guides are going to show you all the different possibilities of what could have happened in the life you just left. Now, the flip side to this is also you get to experience the things that you have done, either good or bad. There's no judgment on it, from the other player's perspective. Just to help you understand and start giving you an idea of the things that you need to let go of, the things that you need to heal, and maybe how you want to move forward with the afterlife. Once you have done your first life review, then you're allowed into the healing room. And the healing room is this incredibly bright room filled with things that look like crystals, but they're just beam of lights. And there are souls after souls just laying on those crystal beds that are receiving healing from above, from below, all around them. Bright, shiny white light that just pours into the soul and cleans out all the cobwebs, all the trauma, anything that may have happened in the life they just left. How long do you stay in the healing room? It really is up to your soul and up to your guides when they feel as you are ready to just move on. Some souls that I've spoken to were in that space for what seems like years in Earth time. Of course, time flies very differently on the other side, so what might appear like 10 years to us might be a blink of a second for them. Once you're done with the healing space, you are allowed to go into what we call the afterlife. The afterlife is the moment in time where you might go back and try to meet up with souls that you knew when you were on Earth. Not specifically your soul family yet, but souls that you were comfortable with. You might be allowed to see them, you might be able to just hang out. I have seen souls in the afterlife that simply were just lounging in a bar with their friends. I have seen souls that decided that they wanted to travel. I have seen other souls that just decided they just wanted to rest for a while and showed me a very quiet space to where they spend most of their time. It really depends. Your afterlife is whatever you want it to be. To whatever you want to see, you can see. Whatever you want to be, you can be. There's no limitations. After you have spent as much time as you wanted into the afterlife, once you feel you have experienced all that you needed, you have rested as long as you wanted, then you are ready. You will be ready to start thinking of maybe you would like to reincarnate. It doesn't have to be right away, but maybe it's a possibility. And at that point, you will have a meeting with your spirit guides, and then you will be allowed to just go ahead and reunite with your higher self. The higher self is the little piece of your soul that always stays behind every time you reincarnate. It's the piece of your soul that knows it all. It knows every single one of the lives you've ever lived. It's also called your intuition. Now you may ask, why didn't you reunite with your higher self right away? Well, for the simple reason that if you reunited with your higher self before you were healed, before you experienced whatever your soul wanted to experience on the other side, you could taint it. The higher self is pure. It has no trauma, it has no hang-up. So once you reunite with your higher self, you will get every single memory back of every single life you've ever lived. How incredible is that? But also, you'll get to reunite with your soul family. Because some of your soul family, while they might still be reincarnated, their higher self is there with yours at this moment in time right now, when you're listening to this video. So, you will get to reunite with them. And at that moment in time, it's like a party. It's literally like best friends coming back together and be like, oh my God, if you only knew all the adventures I just had. And then you share and you laugh and you exchange ideas and you stay there as long as you want. Then eventually, you would decide that it's time. And at that moment in time, you will go ahead and meet again with your spirit guides and get a second life review. And that second life review is a little more complicated than the first one. It looks back at every single life that you've ever had, including the ones you just left. So it feels like it would be really intense. But the reason why they do it this way is so that you can just look at the life you just left and compare it to the life that you just had. And just look at, maybe I could have done this different. Oh, well, now I understand why that happened. It was because of this thing in a past life. I was trying to relearn this lesson. Did not do so well. Again, no judgment. Your guides are not there to judge you. They're just here to help you. Once you have done this last review, you sort of have an understanding of the things that you might want to work on in the next life. And at that moment in time, then your guides will tell you, okay, now it's time to learn. And then you go to school. And you might be like, well, screw this. I am 100% not going to school. But it's not school like Earth school. It's very different. It's more classrooms and places where you get to go and just look at the possibilities. Experience different scenarios. Get to just feel what it feels like to experience something. It's gentle. It's not brutal. But that moment in time, it helps you get prepared for the life that you are choosing to come back to. So, you will do that for however long it takes. And then eventually, your guides will feel as you have learned enough. And you get to go and choose your next life. And from what I've been shown, the choosing the next life looks like this gigantic room with a screen where you get to see different possibilities and different families that you could come back to. And then you get to choose where you would like to go. It doesn't always have to be on Earth. Earth is really the harshest place to come back to. So there are many other planets that you can go. So you would choose your family, the space, based on the experiences you want to have. Maybe there are soul contracts that you are starting to form with other souls, and you know you have to come back to a certain spot to be able to experience those. It really depends. And once you have decided that, at that moment, depending on who you have picked and where, you would drop an energy cord into that person's womb and wait for that little tiny body growing inside of her to be on its 4th month before starting to go into the body to feel what it feels like, to maybe get acquainted with your mother's voice. But you don't spend all the time there. There's nothing for a soul to do in a body that's not even fully formed. And so the soul goes back and forth until about the 7th month, where it would spend all its time into the body until birth. And then once you are born, you are into your body until you take your last breath, and so on and so forth. So hopefully that helped. I'm not a psychic medium. I bring more grounded approach to psychic world. I get all my information from my spirit guides, things that I channel, things that have been shown, all the spirits that I have spoken to over the years. So thanks for listening and hanging out.